Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to Itchy Painty, a very confusing miniature painting live stream from First Aid Spray.
Because time is illusion.
Time is an illusion. It is a cycle, and
Yeah.
there are no beginnings or endings to the Wheel of Time, but this is a beginning. So,
Right.
good afternoon. You may notice at this point today that my screen is not working like I'd like it to. So we're starting off on James today. And welcome to Itchy Painting. I am Burger, aka Michael.
I'm the other guy.
And joining me is of course the talent, James, aka Mr. Moist Outlet.
I think I just heard Rowan literally trip up last stairs. I just heard a massive trip up of pause. I think she just tripped. Let's hear she's meowing. No, she's okay. Sorry, yeah, hello, that's me. I am the talent. I am here. You are not because for my actual talent, but yeah, because I speak bollocks right on the regular.
He does, James. Is why I keep him around, if we're being honest with one another.
Yeah, that's why everybody keeps me around.
I think you're beautiful.
I'm easy to laugh at.
Laugh with, my friends, because the best jokes are the ones you work on together.
So I'm trying. I had a complaint for my mini.
Did you?
For my camera. Ooh. Well, yeah, we spoke about it beforehand, but guys, I just want to say the green on this Duergar's Kingsguard helmet, shoulders, and the gems that it has is not like this dull turquoise. It's a really bright, lovely green. But my camera is trash. So if we can get like a Kickstarter together to get me and Burger some cameras. That
get on that fucking.
So you can actually see the green. But for those that want to know, by the way, it's Waystone green. I wanted to make them gems. So yeah, that's what you're looking at. But
I'm having a frustrating problem.
It's okay. I see that I keep like stretching and not stretching.
Well, no, you're done now.
Okay.
I moved on to the next problem, which is why my camera's not working.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is
He's here so that he builds his confidence, and this should eventually lead him to starting an OnlyFans. What do you mean? I'm already confident in starting an OnlyFans.
He just doesn't have the content right now.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think James does when he's not hanging out with us? Like he's working on future products. And I'll think the man is an artist, and I'll thank you not to rush him. Frankly, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, true.
You know what? Netro downgraded from favorite.
Wow. Shit. Oh, God. Drama alert. Get Kingstar on here. Holy shit. It's begun. You just got gorilla'd. Get fucked.
And getting gorilla'd is the theme of today's program because I backed a Kickstarter. Hey, look at this. Bang. Now we're back.
Oh, look at that.
It's
not like we're not professionals or anything.
It's not. We're not, but that's not why it looks that way.
We're great.
We're fantastic. I have no complaints about our performance.
Yeah, we're doing great. Okay.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm just getting my my setup here a little buttoned up. He has content. He just doesn't want to sell it to me in Choji. That's fine. I mean, when it's ready, it's ready. Like I've said, the man is an artist and he should be respected.
Exactly. It's ready. It's ready when it's ready. The guy that made the Mario said that.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
He said a game is only ready when it's ready, and yeah, that is accurate, something we should all be listening to. Yeah, also, where the fuck is my Stormhost Silver?
James getting a little drama queenie in here.
Where is it? Where is my? I'm turning into a diva. Who's stolen my Stormhost Silver? Who's done it?
Who stole it?
Own it up.
So I'm gonna paint this mini today, like we all anticipated. However, I'm gonna go grab a second mini. just because I have a fun surprise for everybody.
Okay. God, no, really. My Stormhost Silver is just like fucking evaporated. I know I bought that shit. I bought it last week. So we got the camera working. How that nail polish? Resident Evil released this week, and I've been ill, so I haven't done any nail polish. But look at burgers, a lovely green. Still looking for my Stormhost Silver. I found my lead belcher. I am so confused. We are so prepared for the stream today. So prepared. I need my Stormhost Silver. Need it. Is it fallen off or something? Oh. It's turned into a stream of just weird noises. Today. Sorry, 1 second. A little light coming.
All right, I'm back. Hello. Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Carry the stream while I look for my Stormhost Silver.
Oh shit. I wasn't expecting to have to get called out this way. All right. So while James is away, I guess now's a good time to talk about the fun surprise I have today. Is I backed a Kickstarter a while back from these paints here, the Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy, Two Thin Coast line of paints. I backed this because I was a big fan of Duncan back when he was at Games Workshop. He did some of the best like mini painting content that was the most well produced out there. So I was really, really excited for when I saw these paints come through. That was a long time ago. So it's been a while since I backed it, and I was at the point where I thought it was going to be a bad time. However, it was not, and we do have our paints here. I'm really excited to try them out, and that's why we are doing a bit of surprise gotcha journalism as I try these paints and review them live on the stream. I bought like an 18 paint set. I didn't buy them all because it's a non-known property, but I did like some of the colors that he had been putting out. And I bought several Trinities, including a couple of metallics. I bought the Mithril Blade and a Dragon Gold that I thought would be cool. I always got to try metallics, looking for new ones. I bought the purple set, the yellow set. I believe I bought a green set. Oh, I bought a green wash is what I did. Battle Mud wash, Royal Cloak, and Sepia wash. All right, so I did buy some washes. Here are the 3 washes I got. I got the green wash that they had, the Battle Mud brown wash that they had, and then the Sepia wash. Them nails looking fine.
Now, I found it.
Did you?
Found it.
Good.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, geez, I could not have held it together much longer.
Oh shit! No, carry on talking about Duncan Rhodes.
He's the gentleman, our Lord of
He's
Two
the gentleman.
He's the gentleman. Probably the closest because he's actually a British citizen.
Yeah, he lives like literally 20 minutes from me.
That's funny.
We all live 20 minutes from each other. It's like a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
You're a whole thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, physically, yeah.
Yeah, you're one entire thing.
No
more, no less.
Oh yeah, I meant to go out and get a dry brush.
Did I lose one of my doodads again?
Hey, Muzu, hey, Nitro.
That's why it got warmer in here. May turned on the heater. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So I got my washes.
I would start a war.
What's that? These two right here.
somebody turn the heating on. A war would be had.
No, I'm fine with it actually.
Not even any guerrilla warfare, just
So
straight up.
what's really cool is that Duncan included this thing with his game where he's got corollary colors to the other big painting lines. In this case, but I have an entire app to do. He is distilled down here to a single cell sheet, which I think is very awesome. I did use the black earlier today. Really, really happy with how it went down. And then on the other side, he's got the wheels with his various trinities. I bought his black wheel. I didn't buy his white wheel.
Wheel.
I'm big happy with a lot of my whites. These are pretty cool. The 6 washes. So I got a little bit of everything. Neutral colors, warm, ivory. Flesh tone is the flesh tone ones. And they're all the paint bottles have specific. They're like, it's very similar how much of the marketing they took away from Games Workshop. So S means is like the base coat. It's the shadow. The H is the light cone. That's the highlight. Glistening Gums, Sword Hill Burgundy, and Royal Cloak. Which is, here we go. So this is the trinity for this color area. And you take a look. It's pretty nice, actually. Like the differences are lovely, but not super crazy about it. What other ones did I buy? Vampire Thirst, which is a color that I don't see on here. Oh, this is an effect paint. Oh, I think this is like the blood. This is blood for the blood god. I'm pretty sure that's what this is.
Like a technical paint?
Yeah. Vampiric Thirst. Trying to see if it's not even on the sheet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is the blood for the blood god corollary. So I'm gonna put this up here next to the washes. In fact, I think that makes sense because I think I bought one of everything. The other one I have is the yellows, and again, this is Yellow Flame as the highlight, Skulker Yellow as the midtone, and Dark Sun Yellow as the shadow. And again, it's a very close but noticeable difference. This is really this is gonna help a lot of people in terms of learning how to blend. That sheet's really lovely, isn't it? So the other one I have is Corpse Blue, which, yeah, so it's the gray one, which was Cold Corpse Blue, Dungeon Stone Gray, I think Gravestone Blue. So here's the gray, like a cool gray, which I think is nice.
Like a cool whip.
No, come on.
No?
No. If you're not gonna take this seriously, James.
I'm not.
You know what? That's fair and valid. I appreciate you.
No, I'm kidding. No, it's exciting.
And then this is the blacks. Did I not get it? Where's the other gray?
If they haven't given you a gray, I'm emailing Duncan Rhodes right now. I'll go down to his house.
No, here it is. I conflated two things.
Oh, you were lucky. Ooh. I had my phone up to my fucking ear there.
So Dungeon Stone Gray is the highlight for blacks. So it goes this way. Doom Death Black, Death Reaper, and then Dungeon Stone Gray. I'm gonna try to use a bunch of these today on my project, which is this guy. So we've already started one. We finished one from last week. That person is right here. Actually, that's not that one. It's this one. That's what we ended up with during our last week paint sesh. And here's where we're at now.
I'm gonna refresh YouTube because I'm really far behind for some reason.
And then when I finish that one, I'm going to try to get started on this one here, which I have previously primed. And use some of the other colors that I have access to. I actually primed this one really nicely. All right. So the first color I guess I'm going to work on is, you know what? I'm going to go rogue here. I actually just want to paint this orc person.
Oh shit, we're going gorilla.
We're going gorilla. Got to journalism. And in this case, we talked about how to work on these minis before. I've painted one of these at one point. Who wants to tell me where they think I should start first when I start this miniature?
Her face.
That's correct. That is absolutely correct, James. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I start on.
I should have probably waited for people in chat to say, but they might also be behind.
I understand that you were excited. And you were actually who I was prompting with that, so I think that worked out well. Yeah. So yes, we are gonna start. We're gonna start with that first. I am going to. I'm thinking I might do some fun.
Fun. We can't have that here.
Sure. How do y'all feel about yellow orcs? Or
yellow orcs?
Yeah, or purple orcs.
Purple orcs?
No, I think yellow is probably the way to go if I'm going to do any other color.
There's this hair on my brush. Get off. You have no right to be here, Mr. Hair.
Mr. Hair. Way to assume that hair's gender, James.
He told me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Aziz. The hair itself is James.
Yeah. He was very follicle about it.
What an asshole.
Oh.
I love you, buddy.
I am the talent.
You are the talent. That's why I said that earlier. If you were on the Jersey Shore, that would be your that'd be like, you know, it's the situation. Yours would be the talent.
Okay, yeah. That would be my subtitle.
Yeah. That's it. James, the talent. Dr. Saunders.
So have you? Okay, so I need to explain something to you.
Sure, hit me. What do you got? What
are you working on? My surname.
Okay. I think I know the story, but please tell the folks in stream.
It's Doherty Saunders.
That's what I said. Doherty Saunders.
You said you completely missed the C. Where's the C in that?
I said Doherty Saunders.
No, you didn't. You missed the C.
I didn't.
But you said it right then. You said it right then.
I said it right both times. I might have been mumbling, but I did say
okay, okay. Listen, okay? Listen, imagine like my fist is around the scruff of your neck right now.
Sure,
okay?
Sure. Okay.
You know, you need to get my name right, okay? It's very important to me. It's my brand.
Absolutely. 100%. My name is Michael. You know how many people I have to stop and calling me Mike every fucking day?
Oh, man. Yeah. Listen, has anyone ever like screamed across me, "Hey, Mikey"?
No, God.
Someone said that?
No, nobody's called me Mikey in a long time.
Okay. Good.
And it's usually old people because they think
that
joke is still funny.
Yeah, it's not, by the way.
It is not funny. Not even it for real though. It never was, but like extra not funny now. So folks may be asking why I am taking off of the lid for this paint thing I just got. That's because it came with these little doodads. These like little tiny skulls as mixers, and I'll be damned if I'm not going to put mixers in my new paints.
Oh, okay.
One of the other things I really appreciate about the sheet that it's that came with. I don't know if it's on this part of it. But there was a warning label on part of it that says, "Hey, please, like, by the way, make sure you do this before you put your like." It says, "Clean the nozzle and the threads out, so that way your paints have a nice long shelf life." So because you didn't get like paint because they're airtight, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the option to push a button or flip a switch. You push the button. Always push the button.
Yeah, but pushing buttons is way more satisfying than flipping a switch. Well,
here's the thing: is Orthodox Jews can't do either on the Sabbath.
Man, we can't bring Jews into this. Do you realize how much fire they've been under recently? Jesus,
yeah, quite a bit. But that's not like that's just a statement
Kanye.
of fact about their religion. They can't.
But
It's like
yes,
that's a fun. That's not bringing them into it. It's a fun fact. Is what that is.
it's a fun fact. Yeah, it's just a regular fun fact. But now there are some switches that are like floating switches. They have a really soft press to them, which are
Oh, I also like switches with like a dimmer, but that's more of pushing a
that
like
is pushing a button.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
sliding a dimmer up and down.
Now, here's the fine line, right?
Sure.
Where's the line between a button and a switch?
I think this is a weird level of you know Occam's razor that we
Mm.
really just don't want to go down right now.
Are you sure about that? Because I think it's a very important question that we need to find the answer to. Eventually, I mean, maybe we won't be smart enough to find the answer, but eventually,
Right.
someone might take this dialogue that we are
We
saying
have
right
we have
now,
to
and
do the groundwork, right? Is what you're saying. We have to do the
right,
foundational.
exactly,
Um,
yeah, and then some smart ass will come along in about 100 years, like Isaac Newton did, and say, "Hey, look, we've got gravity." Except this time it'll be what is the fine line between a switch and a button?
right. I think ultimately it's like a lever, right? If it's a button, then
Mm.
it's like a very clear indicator. So but then you get into the fact that if you look at like old school like light switches, it was just two buttons next to each other.
Right? Yeah. Man, showed you've really started something
You
here.
really started shit here, Cho.
I can't believe you right now.
This is
Turns out
muckraking
I needed
of the
both. I was
highest
hoping
order.
for a branching.
Which member of the Bat family are you playing as? If it's not Nightwing, I'm gonna scream. Or Batgirl. It can be Batgirl too. Nightwing or Batgirl, I'm gonna scream.
Nightwing.
Or Red Hood. Or Red Hood.
I think Shoji wanted to play Red Hood, but somebody else started playing as Red Hood, so they couldn't
Oh.
play. I know, asshole.
Oh
Asshole
god.
move. Sorry, I heard that wrong.
or I guess Robin's fine. And Batgirl. I think that's all four of them, right?
Nightwing is Dick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has the best ass, so he is the winner.
It's not as good as Captain America's ass, but it's nice.
No, it's better than Captain America's ass.
It's America's ass you're talking about there.
Yeah, well, the thing is, these are two different franchises. So to bring Captain America in it is very irresponsible of you.
Oh shit! Fuck. So he can be Red Hood. That's good. Wow. The audacity.
Arc started as Red Hood, but didn't like him. Oh, okay. So you guys, see, you heard the latest drama on Twitter?
That the day that Elon Musk bought the company, and fired.
Oh yeah, that was that small thing. Yeah.
Is there other Twitter drama right now?
Oh yeah, people are talking about it way more for some reason. That Henry Cavill is not going to be Geralt in.
I think
season
it's
4
fine.
and beyond.
I know May's upset. I don't care. I think he
Same.
did a good portrayal of Geralt. I think we should be comfortable as a people being comfortable with people getting replaced and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's. I mean, I think it's just because of like Superman and stuff. Like
he wants to. Like, he as an actor wants to do other things.
Yeah.
And I get it.
People are making it such a way bigger deal than it should be.
It absolutely is not that big a deal. I think ultimately speaking, it'll be a different show. May's point is that they should do what they did with the books and just make it about Siri.
Oh yeah, no, I think they should.
But you gotta have the beefcake in it, and I hope that with. So it's funny. I saw another post of from somebody. I'm actually gonna see if I can grab my friend Viv and talk to her about it, because she's a big fan of the books. But like they say that he has no leading man energy, and I'm like, well, maybe that's the thing they're doing at this point. He doesn't need to be a leading man because.
Do you want to know my personal opinion?
What's that? What's your personal opinion?
There's a lot of horny people, like who are looking at Henry Cavill and raising him above a pedestal that you really shouldn't be putting him on. Yeah. Not because he's a bad guy or anything. It's just like literally we had no idea how Henry Cavill was going to be as Geralt. Like, but because people were so horny for him, you know, they were like, yeah, of course. And now he's leaving. People who are equally as horny for him are like, no, he can't go. Also, Liam Hemsworth's going to be a shit one. Now, why are you insulting an actor that you've never seen portray a role? Why are you doing that?
Sure.
I don't understand it.
I mean, especially people get upset about Bond.
People being horny. Stop being so fucking horny. Stop being so horny that it like.
But that's a big part of my identity.
Then you need to change. You need to change. Like that is.
Damn,
it's unhealthy.
You said that with like a level of conviction that I'd be like, "Fuck, do I need to be less thirsty?" You set me on a moment of introspection.
This is coming from me. Like, the internet is being too horny right now. They need to calm the fuck down, right? And think about this, because it's like you're basically saying they're basically putting Liam Hemsworth into a noose. Like, the more they fucking cry about it, and it's like, you can stop it. Stop.
Like, it's not too late for them to just be like, all right, fine, then we just don't want to do it anymore. Like, we're just, you know what? The Witcher's canceled. You fucking assholes.
Exactly. Like, that's what's gonna fucking happen. You're not gonna get your content because you're too fucking horny.
I think James might be feeling a little horny right now.
And Netflix is poor as fuck. Did you expect them like to be able to afford Henry Cavill for like with how popular that guy's getting?
So I think so. Here's the other thing too: is I think part of it is like an insurance pot. Like, I think DC, in order for him to be Superman again, wants him to do it. It wanted him to stop because the show, he's been hurt like every season during production of that program.
Yeah, he has.
So like, yeah, that could be part of it as well. We again, the thing is we don't know, and ultimately speaking, it's not important. Like, the man has his life and his career.
And people are talking like, you know, Henry Cavill, like they're talking like Henry Cavill didn't have a decision in this,
right?
Like, you know, big actors like that always have a decision on what they have next, where they go next, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you're basically putting words in. The more I see on Twitter, the more annoyed I get, because it's like you're putting words into Henry Cavill's mouth as well as words into Liam Hemsworth's mouth, even though none of them have fucking said anything yet.
I think there's been official statements from both. By the way, really digging these paints quite a bit, actually.
That's good.
They go on really smooth, really, really, really nicely.
I ruined the wardrobe department with his muscles breaking clothes.
Right?
You know,
I mean, exactly. The man is built like an action figure.
I mean, that sounds like a wardrobe problem to me, not a Henry Cavill problem.
I mean, it's kind of a Henry Cavill problem.
It's not a Henry Cavill problem. if his muscles aren't fitting the clothes that they made for him, then that's not his fault.
I mean, he could chill out for a day.
No, he's got to get those gains.
Right. So like, how the fuck is a wardrobe department supposed to plan for Henry Cavill's gains every day?
Okay. Here we go. All right, because then we're gonna get deep into it. This is like the fucking switch and button situation all over again, right? I tell you what, as the wardrobe department, right, for a man that is growing gains like every other month, right? Let's put him in stiff leather. Yeah. Let's do that. That sounds like a really smart thing to do.
You want it to look fucking realistic, don't you?
What do you mean realistic? You can do that. You see Marvel stuff; their outfits are dope. Like, they've literally done it with Thor. Like, Chris Hemsworth is arguably bigger than Henry. Like, and they still make it work with him.
Well, but that's the thing, though, is like that fits thematically for Marvel. Like, you're conflating.
But he wears, even though he's not wearing metal or leather armor. Right?
Yeah, it's all fucking rubber.
He looks like he is, right? Which is, in terms of Henry and The Witcher, that is a failure of the wardrobe, not a failure of Henry.
I'm not saying it's a failure of anybody, Mr. Judgy Pants.
It is. You spend that amount of money. You spend that amount of money on a show. You get a wardrobe department that can put clothes atop on your leading man.
and they tried.
Yeah. And then
But
his muscles broke
yeah,
everything.
his muscles broke seams. Like, geez.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, James. Come on.
Nah, there's no come on.
Come on, James.
There's no come on.
James, be reasonable.
No.
James, be reasonable.
I see other TV series do fantastic wardrobe all the time, where people are constantly changing. Like, if your leading man is breaking your clothes because he's too big, it's the bottom line is the wardrobe needs to make the outfit so they fit around the body. Not so, like, I remember an interview with him where he was talking about wearing that, like, this hard leather body stuff.
Yeah.
That he was wearing. He was like, I could hardly move in that. Where's the realism in that? Like, when he's walking around, you never see him fight in that stuff, right? Because he can't fight in that stuff. Like, because he's just a big robot.
All right, James. All right, James.
I want to see him. I want to see him fight in leather. I want to see him fight in plate or chainmail or scale mail or whatever else. Right, I want to see him fighting that stuff, right? But the wardrobe would make it very difficult to do that. I also remember an interview with him where he was saying, like, his pauldrons, they used to cut into him. Like, they used to cut into him, and it's like, yeah, put a fucking brigandine underneath. Like, just take some notes, like, from actual history.
God, everybody, God.
I mean, this. I don't even know nothing about wardrobe. You just look back at history and go, "Oh, how did they do it? Oh, yeah, that sounds like a great way to do it." But no, we're gonna stick him in an outfit though, so he looks like a stick man as he's talking to Siri about feelings.
Yeah, here's the thing too: is like you gotta give them some fucking leeway for season 1, James. Because season 1, like, they didn't have the budget they had for season 2. They had to build infrastructure, James. They had to build roads.
Yeah,
literally in some parts.
And then they did it again in season 2.
James, you're being a real so-and-so right now, my friend.
No, I'm being real with you. Like, it's
being a real so-and-so over there, James.
Yeah, can you describe what so-and-so I'm being?
Not in polite public company. So there.
I'm trying to solve a shadow puzzle. I'm pushing buttons. Oh no. Show the rips. Yeah, but there was still a problem. Like, that interview I was talking about, it was, when they're in Kaer Morhen and they have that fight at the end.
Yeah.
Like, there was a piece of armor he wears during that fight that was a real problem for him to move around in. You shouldn't, like, I when I looked at that leather armor as well, it didn't look right to me. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is, if you take a picture, a still of Geralt, Henry in it, like, it looked fine. But when he was moving in it, it was not great. What's exactly when I started? Whether the wardrobe department has failed Witcher or not, because they put Henry in stuff that didn't really fit in very well. But Berger's argument is, well, explain your argument, Berger.
I wasn't making an argument.
I mean, you were.
Was I?
Your argument towards me, like, in response to me.
Oh, I was just being contrary.
Okay. Okay. Well, the other argument would be, you shouldn't be so hard on the wardrobe department. But then, like, my argument was, you see all these other TV shows, they do it fine. If your main man is walking around and saying, that it's uncomfortable, and also he can't actually fight in this battle armor, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
And then it said, we could just take it from history, put a brigandine underneath,
I remember that part of it.
And then, because
and then from there on, I was on your side.
I don't remember you ever being on my side.
It's just because I take an adversarial tone. I was just when you get excited, James, it's
well, they should, like, I don't know if you guys know, but in Marvel stuff, if you notice, and you probably do, because most of you are Marvel fans here.
Yeah.
But like the way they do costumes and wardrobe in Marvel movies is they never have a one piece on the top. It's always like a waistcoat.
Yeah,
Like they have like a waistcoat that goes over the top, and then underneath they have this really flexible like material, right? So it's really easy for the superheroes to do their
to move
superhero
around in.
stuff,
Yeah.
right? But they do it in such a way where it's very seamless and like it looks great. Yeah, because if you try and make a one piece like they did with The Witcher and other stuff as well, you try and your guy or whoever is like wearing it has their arms are always really wide, like from their body because they can't because it's so stiff. They won't be able to get full motion because their shoulders are locked in place because of the metal or the leather.
Yeah, that's valid. And Marvel really like worked on that formula for a long time too. Because if you look at the first Thor movie, there was not much of that.
Yeah. God, it always shocks me watching that Thor movie and then like watching the rest. Like
They really
I mean,
like
other than
don't
Dark
know.
World,
I was
like
gonna say they don't know what to do with him.
yeah, he's just this enigma.
They're like he's supposed to be serious, but how do you take him seriously? And they really struggled, and that's unfortunate too.
Yeah, I know he's one of your favorite superheroes, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he. I've always appreciated the perspective of Thor as a character and how he's portrayed in a lot of Marvel comics, specifically from the writer J. Michael Straczynski, who has a cameo in the first Thor movie. Like took the character in the early 2000s and really just completely took all the camp away in a way that was really satisfying.
Okay.
So what happens is Ragnarok happens, and because the Odin Force is what it is and how Asgardians work, after a while, Thor is able to realize that like he can kind of manifest himself again.
Okay.
Because he's like, you scatter into a billion pieces and you're a galactic presence, and you kind of start to pull your shit back together.
Mm-hmm.
So he does, and he becomes Donald Blake again. It's a really just fantastic with a French artist, Copiel, doing the art on it, and it was like he was big and fucking almost like inhumanly scaled again. Like he didn't look like a person as Thor; he looked greater. And there's this wonderful arc where he finds other Asgardians who have been. So he brings himself back as Donald Blake, and there's like a cool Donald Blake where Donald Blake is also like a noted physician. And like so there's like Donald Blake episodes where he meets patients who are actually Asgardians who are like were reincarnated as well. And he brings them back, and it's he goes and it's like Heimdall, and he pulls Heimdall from back into existence. He does this when he goes to a battlefield, and there's these like soldiers who are defending this area, and there's 3 soldiers specifically who are like holding down this one really big hill, and then Thor comes down and creates, he draws this connection to, because like his whole thing is that he used his father is Thor and his mother was Mother Gaia. Okay. So he like explores, and he's like, all right, he creates this chasm here which stops these raiders from raiding this peaceful village, and he goes and he meets the soldiers, and it's the Warriors 3, and he pulls them in because like the warrior spirit and the spirit of camaraderie that those 3 had was so legendary that even as mortal men, they found each other and like hung out again. So then you find out Loki was fucking. It's honestly, just go read it. It's fucking fantastic. But my favorite part in that, and part of what I think exemplified Thor going into the first Thor movie, is while Thor was away, Reed Richards and Tony Stark cloned him and told the world that Thor endorsed what they were doing. And Thor, obviously finds out about it when he gets here. And so Tony Stark comes down big dicking it, being like, so, Thor, here's how things work. Because this is post-Civil War, right?
Okay.
And he comes down, he's waving his big dick energy around because Thor has at this point recreated Asgard over Nebraska.
Okay.
And there's a really funny scene where he buys the land legally from somebody. Where like this guy walks up and says, "You can't have your house here," and Thor's like, "You saying I can't build on this ground?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." And Thor literally just goes, he goes, "Very well, that's fine, wonderful," and he like lifts it up like a foot off the ground. He goes, "It's not on your land anymore." And the guy like stands his ground, and says like, "No, you have to I own this land." And he literally like he's like takes him up to the vaults of Asgard and opens the door and says, "Take what you want for the land." And then the next panel is just like he's like, "Hey, go get the truck." And then you see them like the truck is like dragging ass down the road, and it's just fucking heavy with gold coins and shit.
That's good.
So that happens, and then Iron Man comes down and is like, "Thor, this is what we're gonna do. You have to register. You can't just blah blah blah." And Thor goes like, "Listen, Tony, we can have this conversation now, or we can have this conversation later. But like, we're not cool right now. You have to understand. Like, I know what you fucking did. Cool. We're not, bro. Like, we're not, and like." And I'm not now who I was, because at this point, Tony doesn't know this, but Thor has access to what is called the Odin Force, which is the power that his father held. So okay. Like Thor, like when I say Thor, like Tony big dicking it right now is like, fucking a normal person big dicking it to Tony Stark, I guess in the scale of that. So Tony, he starts talking shit, and Thor goes like, leave now, like just go away. I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. I'm just going to do what I want. I'm not going to bother anybody, but I'm going to do what I want. And Tony, okay. And then like with one fucking lightning bolt, like the next thing Tony like says is immediately as Tony starts talking, his warning system goes off, and he just gets fucking blapped with lightning bolt. And then Thor blaps him one time with Mjolnir and says like, remember Tony, that you are a powerful man, but I'm a god. So I should watch my language. You're fine. I just realized I got excited. It's a cool story arc. I like it a lot.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The problem. I think the problem with like Thor is that it became like. I feel like it's getting to this point because I've did a little bit of research into the guy, and he's become like the Marvel guy. And he's like, he is so strong. Yeah. Like he gets to this point where he is the strongest. Mm-hmm. It's like it's just Dragon Ball Z all over again, isn't it? It's like, it's like I in one respect I do like what they've done with the Marvel movies and given him more of a free dimension. Like, so you can get to know him as a person rather than just this power of muscle and strength that he is.
That's the problem when you get endlessly serious, because you kind of lose the fact that he was also supposed to be likable.
Right. Yeah.
Ultimate Thor took it back because that Thor was way fucking affable.
Okay.
Which there's actually I think there's either an animated movie or a short animated series about the Ultimates, which was fun. The comic book was really cool. Like the first couple of arcs of it were wonderful because like there's this like level of them telling them like everybody thinking that he's just a fucking like a Tony Stark type person who uses technology to be strong.
Okay.
Until he disabuses everybody of that notion.
Excuse me.
Which is cool. It's like a very
much stuff on PC now.
What's that?
Sorry, Mizu's talking about their PC. He's trying to point out by the ports of the bed. Seems to be connected. Wait, everything's working now?
That's pretty cool.
They were worried yesterday because they've had this PC, by the way, for like months, and they haven't used it. Why? They bought it and never used it because they were just worried about it. Because the anxiety of putting a PC together and running it, I don't think Mizu's had before. So, yeah, but I said to them, they were saying they tried to turn it on yesterday and they weren't getting screens. So I said, try to reseat everything. And yeah, they can see stuff now.
Good.
Excellent. Good shit.
Congratulations. I
Yeah.
understand exactly how anxiety-inducing that can be. So I want to say I'm proud of you for doing that.
Yeah, same.
Congratulations. That's wonderful. Let's hear it from Uzi.
Where is Thor right now in the comics? Do you know? Or
No,
have
the
you
last
taken a step
Thor arc I read was geez, can somebody tell me when um Jane Foster picks up the hammer? I think it was early 2010s. Was the last time I read anything from Thor. And I gotta tell you, I enjoyed it too. That was Jason Aaron was writing Thor at the time. Jason Aaron is responsible for a lot of what was in Thor Love and Thunder. It was nowhere near as parody as that movie was, as I'm to understand it, because like the God Butcher stuff was real fucking dark.
Yeah, I know that one.
Like, and they used a lot of the set pieces from the series. But an artist named Isad Rabik, who, as you can imagine, just look at the scenes that are obviously pieces of concept art. Like that giant mound monster, the giant mountain-sized creature that he comes up over the ridge and sees. I don't know if they show the one where he walks into the room and all of the gods are on meat hooks.
Oh shit! No, they didn't show that.
Did they do any of the time travel stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because so the way that story arc goes in the comic books is Thor fights Gore the God Butcher at 3 simultaneous points in time. And you see them synchronizing this effort. Because they discover a way to communicate with one another.
Oh.
So they set up this giant fucking attack and then like fight them all at once and finally beat Gore the God Butcher. Because like this fight between Gore and Thor, where they're like clashing and then breaking apart, goes on so long that like, because like they fight and then they retreat. And it's like they both get mauled and they figure it out. And then like in the future, in the middle time, in the current time, like they fight and then break apart. And then at the end of it, it's at the end of time, and it's like their fucking last go. Like it's gonna be their knock down, drag out, knock them down, beat it. Like that's gonna be the fucking game closer. Yeah. So that arc is put in that perspective, and it's very, very cool. So I'm upset that they made it so jokey, because the stuff after that is jokey, and that's kind of how they give Thor back that affable nature, that approachable nature, by making Thor a woman.
Right.
And I remember chatting with May about this, and May was like mad, and I remember not understanding really quite at the time. It was a long time ago. But now that you like give her own thing. Like, why does she have to be? Why can't she just be her own character and not be Thor? Like, it was the thing. And I was like, yeah, you know what, that makes sense.
Yeah. I agree. But they've kind of fucked that in the MCU now, so
sure. And it's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm ultimately speaking, I don't really care. I don't put much stock into Marvel stuff. So
I do think that Christian Bale did a great like Gore. Like
yeah, I heard he had a bad time making that movie.
Did he really?
Yeah, because there's a lot of it shot in front of green screens, and he's like, it's hard to really act.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. But at this thing is, I understand that, but man, there is one scene, and I have a lot of bad things to say about Love and Thunder. But there is a scene in Love and Thunder, or a set of scenes, that is probably the most haunting but also beautiful scenes I've seen in a Marvel movie, and everything goes monochrome. It feels very comic book.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's like a catch-all for like stuff, but Oh man, it's so beautiful. There is a lot of surreal stuff that's happening as well at the same time, so it like adds to the beauty and the horror of it all. But yeah, it's so, that's amazing. That those scenes are amazing. But I think the comedy is way over the top. Like there was some really kind of serious moments in it, and then the screaming goats were hilarious. But the thing is, we'd have these really serious moments, and then a screaming goat would just scream.
Oh
It's
God,
like,
that's so frustrating.
and it's like you just removed all the seriousness and like the urgency like of this scene because you just added a screaming goat because haha laughs. Like it's like they had just the right amount of comedy and action and seriousness in Ragnarok, but I think maybe they gave Taika Waititi maybe a little bit too much of a loose grip.
Or I was under the like again. This is just shit you read on the internet, right? But I had read that like he wasn't super thrilled to have to do it. Like
I do remember him saying like he'll only ever do a Thor again if Chris is in it. Like, and like I think that's kind of weird to say. Like Chris is an okay Thor, but to just kind of cancel any of your future plans just because like an actor wasn't in it, it's kind of weird.
Right. And I think that might have been an indicator. Chris is done, I'm assuming, because he's in his 40s now and doesn't want to be Thor anymore.
Yeah, maybe. It does say at the end like Thor will return, but yeah.
I honestly I haven't seen the new one.
It's just so like I've seen it a few times and it's too over the top, man. Like it's like Ragnarok. I don't know why Ragnarok worked so well. As well as it did, rather, but
Kate Blanchett.
That right, yeah.
Well, like then that's the thing is because she also was charming,
and Jeff Goldblum.
I guess, yeah. Was Tom Hiddleston in the movie?
No, he wasn't.
Shit.
No. No, wait. Yes, he was. Yeah, because that was the whole reason. Yeah. No, he definitely was. He's a good Loki.
He is like he's gonna be one I'm gonna be sad to see go. To be honest.
Just catching up with chat. Last thing I saw about Thor was he became Hulk due to some comic book shenanigans, and Odin was using Bruce to fight with Hulk. In comics, Thor was fighting Hulk and became a Gamma mutate. Then Hulk had to use Mjolnir to stop Gamma raged Thor. Jesus, it's gone. Wow, that's
far afield from where I was looking at it.
Yeah. During that comic, Odin hints that when Thor fought Hulk in the past, Thor was holding back. To note, Muzo and I are saying the same things. Chris says he would only do another Thor only with Taika. Yeah, they've both said the same thing about each other. I think they probably had a chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks. But I mean, hopefully it gives us like a new kind of take on Thor. But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've done all like the major like hit storylines of Thor now, so I'm not really sure.
There's some other stuff. There's quite a bit of Thor. Like they haven't even explored when they fight the Eternals. Like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If they're going to bring that back to the MCU. I by the way, I really like the Eternals. The movie I really like. I really enjoyed it. I didn't see what everybody's problem with it was, but
most people like to complain, James.
They do. I don't know. There's a lot of different opinions about it. People didn't feel they could get connected to it because it's so it's like it's out of reach from the rest of the MCU.
Sure. There's no like scene where Scarlett Johansson comes on the screen. She's like, "Hey, everybody," and everyone goes,
Exactly. It's meant to be like an origin story. There were other people that had like this is a valid criticism though. like this is a good one. But they tried to fit too much into the movie because they were trying to make it an origin story and then a villain story. And yeah, I did get that criticism. I don't think it was enough to cancel the thing altogether. But then again, I have a real issue with people canceling stuff. So just off of like only a couple of criticisms.
Yeah. Well,
it was good, and there was like again some fantastic visuals in that movie. Yeah, and a lot. The other thing is that a lot of criticisms about that movie were answered in the movie. Like for instance, I think one of the biggest criticisms that people were having is that like, why did no one notice that the celestial, its head was poking out of the river? But it's answered in the movie and in other movies too.
You have to like look at the screen and be like, oh, okay, cool.
Like it is there. It's a thing. It's in the world, right? But people were like, oh, why do you know? They did fucking notice it. Shut up. Yeah, it's just really silly stuff like that. If someone comes to me and they're like, okay, here's all my reasonings why I don't like something, I'll be like, fair.
Sure. Quantify your reasoning, please.
Yeah, fair, and I get that, right? But man, like I do, like if I don't like something, I'm gonna stand there and I'm gonna tell you things I didn't like about it.
So here's the thing: is I think the information should be able to be asked for. Like I don't like. To me, I think it's like more important to have those arguments than necessarily making them.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't know, if you asked me why you liked the movie, then we gauge on like what you liked about it. But if we like then we can further the conversation in that regard. But if it's like, so there's this movie, I didn't like it. Like, okay, so what didn't you like about it? Well, I don't know, I just didn't like it. Like, so you can't figure out why you didn't like a movie, huh?
Exactly. It just adds nothing. Like, it's the weight of what people say as well. Like it always gets to me. It's like, when people say these kinds of things, whether you think you're small fry or not, like there might be anybody online who could grab that, right, and use it as a hook. Like, and then it can be spread like wildfire, and then everybody loves jumping on a bandwagon. So, and then it could end up in something being cancelled. Like, and it's, and we've seen it so many times in recent years of that happening. And it's really sad. I think it's really sad because it's a shame because
I'm trying to get this one open. This is
we could have got.
This is
to being a little stubborn cookie.
It's being a stubborn cookie, James. It's a good metaphor.
Fuck.
Ow! Fuck. Here we go. I'm gonna try to get this in here. Haha! Oh my goodness.
Tell us they've been interested in me in the movie. Tried to cram so much history to fill out place. That's fair. If you weren't interested in the Eternals to begin with, then yeah, the movie's not going to talk to you, is it?
Right.
Like, it's like with Alien. There are people who are not interested in Alien because of its, because of like the content it deals with, and I completely understand that. It's like
totally.
You're not going to like the comics. You're not going to like the novels. You're not going to.
If you don't
you're not going to like the movies.
You're not going to like the thing. It's if y'all ever have a moment to go on YouTube, there's a really funny Adam Sandler YouTube SNL video from when he hosted a couple years ago, where he's like an Italy tour company. He goes, "Hey, if you're sad and lonely here, you're gonna be sad and lonely there." It's a funny video, but I think people are similar with their like. Everything has to be for me. It's like when people were getting mad about Ms. Marvel. Like,
oh yeah,
the show's not for you, and that's okay, sir.
Yeah. Yep. So I do think there are some criticisms about that movie.
Sure, and there's
I want to see Miss Marvel do more Miss Marvel things.
Sure.
That's because even in like even in like future stuff, even in like the stuff that she like like she's in as like a subplot, like we still hardly get to see her do anything, and she's like this all powerful like being, and we never get to see her do much, and it just would have been nice
To see her do
to
stuff.
see her do more.
All right.
Yeah, that's my only criticism of it, because otherwise it was all right.
Moving on to
Okay.
Dragon's Gold, by the way.
Is that the paint?
Yeah,
Sorry?
it's the gold paint from the Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy. So far, really digging the experience on these things. Let's cycle back and we'll do a news break. I like the nozzles. I am following the advice and kind of making sure I keep them clean. I like how they're like sloped too. Like they're shaped in a satisfying way. Like the nozzle doesn't see, it's in a place where it's not going to just get like pinched up. Let me grab one as an example of how they usually are. So see how narrow this goes up? This is a good example here where I like this. Back at where are we at? 1 hour 8 minutes.
Oh, Captain Marvel. Sorry, not Miss Marvel.
Sure. So at about 110. I'm gonna say yes. No, it's 107. Sorry. So to compare these two bottles together, this is an older color. I was using this in another project, Orcish Dermis from Fantasy Games, scale 75. The nozzle gets really narrow, so a lot of the times when I pick up one of these paints, I have to like clear the channel because stuff gets up in there and it dries. And because like the stuff, I'm bad. I'm a bad mini painter person. My stuff gets caught in there, which means that the seal doesn't seal right, and so that's how that happens. So they do give you this warning when you buy these. Hey, please make sure you clean this area. To keep the channels clean, but it's also like a different style too because it circles around twice. There's an extra. I guess it's the same, but they're tighter. That's nice. Anyway, I'm really digging them. They're really cool, just in terms of the whole process. You can really tell that they thought about the hobby when they put these out. They also got like a nice pinch, so they're like kind of firm. They're a little bit thicker. I got some empties too. They sent me some empties.
Oh,
it's
nice.
It's a nice Kickstarter. I'm bummed out it took a long time, but ultimately speaking, I'm really happy with it.
Like, how long were you talking? Did it say?
I think about 1.5 years. Like, but it was late. It was supposed to be a really fast turnaround, but like with any of the like initial runs of these things, like COVID happened. So
can you buy these things now?
I don't know, because like I'm at a point where I was talking to May about it earlier before the show. Is I'm kind of bummed out because if I like them, then I'm gonna be sad that I don't have the rest of them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it's kind of weird to make like a paint line and then like not be able to get it once you run out.
I'm thinking that it'll be fine because they're just putting out the Kickstarter stuff.
Okay.
So I think they'll be able to buy them once they get the Kickstarter taken care of, and then they'll put a little website up and start the second print run.
Okay, that's fair.
Because they are nice. I like them quite a bit. I would buy more if I had the opportunity. I just buy out the rest of the set. To be honest, because I do. I think they go on really smoothly, especially this gold here is just gorgeous as I paint in my contrast metal areas. So y'all may notice that I'm taking a exceptionally careful hand as I do this. And I think you'll see me doing that a lot more as I go through these projects. Because I enjoy it more, if I'm being honest. I like being able to get into the little parts of a model. So I think I'm gonna try something new next week, okay. along with James here, as we go through and and paint our Bardsung minis. This is also a Bardsung mini. This was one of the orc captains we painted a long time ago. We painted a pair of them, if I remember correctly.
We did, and there's like another fucking 4 of them in the box. I've painted all mine now.
This is the only one of these I'm working on. So I'm going to.
I did like Miss Marvel, by the way, the TV series. I did like that show.
Oh, I was talking about Ms. Marvel.
Oh, you were talking about Miss Marvel.
I was just talking about Ms. Marvel because
my bad.
I feel like Captain Marvel didn't it didn't tread dangerous ground.
Okay. No, I get that.
It was a perfectly fine action.
Yeah. No, that's a good summarization for me too. I did think that Captain Marvel was an okay film. I don't think it deserved the vitriol it got, and a lot of that vitriol was from a really
vocal,
shitty place.
Really vocal online minority of people. Mostly,
yeah, just so happen to be white men.
Sad white gentlemen, correct. And that's the thing, is people don't think things can just be fine, or not for them. Like, that's ultimately speaking, that's part of the reason I get out of fandom communities like that, because I get exhausted with people who don't think it's okay to have fun or enjoy something as a community.
Yep.
Everything has to be for them.
That's why I take breaks on the weekends, like typically from social media, because I could just it does exhaust you, like just having to deal with the same talking points that people are saying, and you're like, what? Your talking point is from a place of hate.
Yeah, why?
Like, so I don't.
So, yes, I absolutely agree with you. Can I point out that this metallic silver is just fantastic. Oh my goodness, this is.
Oh, it does look really good, yeah.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it just pop? It pops right out. Look at that. Just wait until I get all these little rivets painted in. It's gonna be very cool.
You just wait for these rivets, baby.
Then it's gonna be hot, spicy rivets. Hot rivet action.
Oh wow.
Sorry,
that's a different corner of the internet.
I was gonna say, this is now a Ratchet and Clank stream.
Yeah. I got Black by Vallejo recently, and it is just not gloss black, just the black.
Yeah,
it's all right. Yeah, it's not bad. I'll see what it's like with the second coat though.
Yes,
I'm definitely going to get the matte, the Army Painter matte paint though, and see what that's like.
I do like matte quite a bit myself.
Matte just looks better as like just a flat presentation color.
Yes, I agree. I am inclined to agree with that.
Because like gloss is just the same as I don't like the color gold. Gloss is way too ostentatious for me. Unless it's something that needs gloss.
Whoa. Slow down on that shiny stuff there. Slow down on that shiny stuff, mate. You can't have it here. This is not appropriate.
I don't know why we switched up there with the accent, but we went there.
We did.
My peeps were just obnoxiously vocal about Captain Marvel. Yeah. I mean, it made somebody not want to play Captain Marvel anymore. So I was like,
yeah, she's like, you know what? Peace.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with this shit. I'm gonna
go. Like, I just tried to say nice things. That's yeah. I feel kind of bad for socially awkward Brie Larson.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is like, you can't. Yeah. The same thing with with the guy who played Mark Zuckerberg, is you're not allowed to be a socially awkward famous person.
Oh, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
God, okay. That guy always comes off as a dick.
Right, but like, for all we know, he's just, again, socially awkward.
That's true, but that doesn't give you the right to be a dick.
I mean, yeah, there's also nothing saying that you have to enjoy like doing contractually obligated things.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to paint underneath that first.
So we did that. So we did that thing, by the way, we were talking about a few days ago about wetting the parchment paper and the,
Yeah.
you
How's it working
know,
out for you?
my parchment paper still just folds up and it goes crinkly. So, and it's like annoying because
You
it's
have
like
to
it does.
make sure you get your bubbles out too.
What?
Get your bubbles out.
Bubbles? No, when it goes on, it's fine.
Sure.
Like it's fine, but then it like crinkles up at the edges, and then like it starts to shrink. I think because then like the wrinkles come in. So yeah, I don't know really what to do.
I don't know, man. I'd watch a YouTube video.
I haven't, I haven't, I haven't done the foam thing yet. So I'll do the foam thing next week because I've got it fully flattened now. So I'll probably cut it out after this stream, to be honest.
Yeah, like I used to use a sponge, like just a kitchen sponge.
Yeah, which is like foam in a way, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
so. It might work the same way. The only problem I don't want to run into is the foam start smelling and stuff. But
I mean, after just replace the foam, or you get like a copper penny.
Foam is not cheap. So a copper penny, what?
Yeah, like that's antimicrobial.
Wait, no. Explain this copper penny thing.
So copper is naturally antimicrobial. Like that's the property. One of the properties of copper is that bacteria won't grow in it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's copper. I think it's copper or bronze. Anyway, because of this property of this material, you can put that material in, like in this case, a copper penny, in your wet palette underneath your foam, and it'll prevent microbial growth. Like inhibit, I should say, microbial growth. You still don't want to be an asshole about your wet palette, like leave it sitting there for 6 days. But it is.
But.
Do you have it?
I have a copper penny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying now. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The more you know. All right, next up, I'm going to move on to painting the leather, which I'm going to be doing in the burgundy.
Burgundy?
Yeah. I'm on the royal cloak, which is the shadow for this purple. So earlier I mentioned that it's been really pleasing to me to be really neat. I was working on a project that you may all know about, the Azula project I was working on. I'd finished it. During a conversation with my therapist, they had mentioned at one point, like offhandedly, we were talking about it, and they had said they had a patient who would really love it, and then like really loved this, like he asked if they could share pictures because they had a patient who was really into Avatar: The Last Airbender, and thought that, and like Azula was their favorite character, and they thought it would be pretty cool. And at the time, I was like, yeah, sure, like you can go ahead and like show my picture. You can share. That's fine. Thank you for asking. And come to find I come to find out that the patient is also terminal. So I when I finished it, I was like, what am I gonna do? Am I just gonna like sell this? Some people are offering to buy it for me. A lot of people. I got a lot of offers on that piece. But so I ended up deciding to donate it to this patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. And no, I heard when I spoke to my therapist on Wednesday and learned that this person wrote me a letter, and I'm gonna get mailed that letter. I'm really excited.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So during that project, my big mantra going into it was like, I'm not going to do any shading. I think I might have talked about that quite a bit. And I broke it a little bit. I broke that mantra a tiny bit because I ended up doing just some light, like two-tonal shading. And then here's my pops in. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, come on. And Lorbos. So just be neat. Like I didn't do much. I was neat. And part of my rationalization, how I convinced my perfectionist and ADHD brain to do it, is like, as long as I keep my contrast good, and I only use one color, I know that if I take Moonray Flesh and accidentally get some Moonray Flesh on my Dragon's Gold, then if I can just fix it with a little bit of Moonray Flesh or Dragon's Gold, and so like all of my lines ended up being really neat, but I ended up not putting much work into the shading. Okay. And on the macro scale or project like that, that's the stuff that's more important. The stuff where actual lighting is going to affect the mini more than subtle shading will be. So that's what I'm focusing on here. Like, notice how much that rivet on the chest plate there on that gold platform like pops. Just because it's clean, it's in the center of this gold field, and it shows you that it's cobbled together from different kinds of metal. Isn't that cool?
I'll need to wait a little bit before I see it.
The same thing is true with the rivets on the gauntlet.
Oh yeah, there you go. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. It's this one over here I wanted to do. So I'm just getting a code on this sword before I move on to the other one, so that way my colors are on the same cycle. I also missed some pieces. I moved on too soon. Okay. What were we gonna say, James?
I'm a bit choked up about this terminal patient, to be honest. So excuse me a second. I think you should watch The Midnight Club.
Really?
On Netflix. Yeah.
Should I? This is knowing that I'm not a big horror fan.
It starts off with a bunch of jump scares, but it's literally meant to be there to take the piss out of jump scares.
Oh, fun.
Okay. But the rest of it, the reason why I recommend it is because it gives you an insight into the mind of a terminally ill person. In fact, it gives you an insight into several terminally ill people.
Oh, dear.
If you are prepared for that, but it is also a horror show where these people, they tell each other horror stories. Then they call it the Midnight Club. They always meet in the library and they each have a story to tell, and they continue. They have like parts and they continue on, and they're all very unique stories.
Cool.
Yeah, and they're all referenced to pop culture stuff like the Terminator, Alien,
cool,
and stuff too. They've got like it's not like direct copies of them.
Fiction.
Exactly, yeah. But well, they're not in those universes, but they borrow things from them, and they also mention the films. Sure. Like I don't think they mention Alien, but they definitely mention Terminator. And it's set in the time, by the way. This will probably make you smile. It's set during the time just before the PlayStation came out. And like there's one character and he's terminally ill, and I think he has brain cancer or something. And he basically, the thing that he's most sad about is that he can't play the PlayStation when it comes out. Because I know it's really fucked up, but it kind of gets resolved a little bit later on as well. But it's set during like between the early and mid 90s, around that time. It's a really good show. Made me cry a lot, but they were good tears. Yeah, I really like this black compared to a bad in black, which is what I was using before.
Okay, you see that everything else is like tightened up and neat. See. Oh, that's actually a leather strap there. Okay. I'll get that with the purple. Let's fix that. All right, so we'll move on to the next color now. So far, I have no complaints about any of the Duncan Rhodes paints I've used.
Hey, that's good.
They're
Since you waited a year, since you waited a year and a half for them,
right. So I am eyeballing this metallic over here, and it feels like it is drying out pretty quickly, but that's kind of also potentially my fault. My heater's on, and it's really dry in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's like, you know, but that's gonna happen with any paint. This one's not special in that regard. So far, the bright silver metallic went on as expected and worked great.
Stay down, paper. Now it's just curling up. It's just being a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it means it's not wet enough, or one
Man,
side of it is more wet than the other.
I freaking soaked this thing.
Well, you have to like refresh it, right? Because it dries up. Because it's water. That's what water does.
All right, very right.
That's why I keep. I'm supposed to drink this water I keep on hand. All right.
I'm back. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. I'm back. Hello.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Welcome back.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Hello. Oh, hello. Hi. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. This is.
Are you gonna answer
This
my
is
question?
when two sprites meet each other in the forest. Hi. Hello. How are you?
Hi. Hello. Hi. How are you doing?
Hi. How are you?
What's up?
How are you? How are you?
How are you?
Hi. Hi. How are you?
Hey.
Hey. Listen. Hey. How are you?
I'm well. Good.
Who are you? Where are we? Wait. What am I?
God damn it, James.
That is not my sprite name. You use my government name.
All right, Whispering Willow, you piece of shit.
That's more like it. Oh man, yeah. No, we should play a D&D game someday where we both players and we're just two fairies.
No, absolutely, 100%.
Constant chaos.
Fighting for attention.
The entire time. Every time you the fighter gets like the attention or whatever, we just go into like, yeah, I have two, and so did they. We help. Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
like, yo,
Hey.
it's gonna be a bard and a God, is there like a?
I swear to God, if you say paladin.
A sorcerer or a warlock.
A sorcerer.
You know what? A warlock. It'd be a warlock.
A warlock.
It'd be a warlock. Yeah, the other one would be a
warlock fairy with the Fey Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. I owe everything
patron.
to the Fey Lord patron who has my contract. He owns the right. He owns control of my name.
Right. Can you say your name?
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you say your name?
Don't worry about it.
That's why I love warlocks, even though they're kind of a shit class. They're like, to RP, they're a great class.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that RP doesn't matter.
It doesn't in my games.
I know.
Oh, what's this?
I still think that one scene that we did on the boat was funny.
Sorry?
Oh, I don't know if you remember Edrin making having the perfect situation where I could make an animal companionship chest on a fucking group of killer sharks.
I was like, this scene's over. We have to move on. there's no way that this could become the terrible horror show that it was going to be, because Edrin has made friends with the sharks.
As Edrin makes friends. That's what they do. They're my good boy.
Welcome back to Moisty Be Smelly. Today, Moisty will be smelly some paint. Sorry. Just give you context.
I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna read that in an accent here in a moment. Once I get this strip of like super fine detail purple in here.
If you go really offensively Canadian, you've got it right.
No, it's gonna be super southern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to give you context, there's this TikTok where basically TikTok channel where this bloke and his partner, I think, they have these two cats, and one is called Melon, and Melon always be sitting on flip-flops for some reason. But Melon has this weird thing where she smells certain foods that we would consider really good, right? And most cats would also consider really good, and she just yaks. She just like dry heaves, right? Almost every single time. There are a couple of, and the narrator is like half of the story, because he's like, ooh, Melon not liking what she be smelling. Or if she's okay with it, Melon be okay with what she be smelling.
That's funny.
It's very stupid but funny.
It does certainly sound like one of those things.
And then there's Finn, who is this man of a cat, very fluffy and cute, who their owner basically, whenever they give Finn, they let Finn get to sniffing. It's literally the line. And the owner will raise the food so Finn stands up basically on his hind legs like a man. But then Finn might not be what he sniff with what he sniff, or not be what he be with what he sniff. Yeah. I've done my Duergar now. So I'm wondering, I'll let you guys decide how much time do we have left.
About
a lot of time.
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Guys, should I complete the rest of the Duergar here, which seems to be the King Duergar and 2 mage-like, or should I go on to something new? Because I primed a bunch of minis this week to prepare for this actuality. So we have.
So I'm going to point out something real quick while people are deliberating on those minis. Go ahead and list your minis, James, real quick. I'm sorry, I'll wait.
Yeah, so we have. Hang on, let me just showcase them. So we have these 2 mage boys. We have this the king folk dude here. I have 4 of these ghosty boys. We have 4 of these elemental boys. Or we have the crone, I think she's called. Or the crone. Yeah, sorry, carry on. Thanks.
All right. So while you're deliberating, we're going to point out something. Why I like taking these minis, like the approach I have been with these miniatures, is we noticed that as I've moved on to other colors, I'm revisiting other areas of the model again, because now I'm painting in this case, I've got my burgundy color out. So I'm working on the belts. But I also see that here, I forgot to, I saw an area that I didn't differentiate appropriately.
Okay. So
I just found some more skin. Just by revisiting a model and being really clean with everything, I'm empowered to, and since I had to fix that part there, I found it, I can just take a few seconds here and I can clean up my skin elsewhere where I might have gotten a little extra on it, since I've already got
extra.
A little bit of little sauce in it. I wasn't doing an in it for like British reasons.
In it?
I was just saying that there was sauce in the in it being the thing I was talking about.
Okay. Mage boys. Okay.
Yeah, mage boys it is.
If I'm doing mage boys, by the way, I'm also doing the king Duergar, because I want to. If I'm going to get these two done, I'm going to get a king done as well.
Sure. On those Mage Boys, we're going to teach our friend James here about object source lighting.
Okay,
Um,
teach me,
so
senpai.
James, object source lighting is a painting technique, or a painting. Yes, is an effect generated by a simple painting technique which is meant to simulate within the mini an effect not unlike actual physical lighting.
Okay.
On the so basically the way it works is just like any other thing that you're going to paint when you're painting minis, you you want to pick like a base color, a mid-tone, and a highlight in your color scheme for whatever color the energy is going to be. So what color are you painting the rest of the mini? Are these still Duergar?
These are still Duergar, yeah. I'm pretty sure they're Duergar because they're in the same tray as all the other Duergar. Do you know what? You talk about something else. I'm going to go get the card.
Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to go back to what I'm working on here. I'm finishing up. I re-dipped my my brush in this burgundy color. I'm going to keep painting these leather straps because these leather straps are going to be... I'm going to hit them with a brown wash, and I'm hoping that brings them into this like really dark leather this leather effect I want to create. So this is something that may not work out like I want it to, which is okay because I actually switch this back since James is away. Because again, as we continue to go, there's going to be a point where this model is going to be absolutely finished, and
Goodness.
there's a I could be done and it would look fine, right? But again, we're doing this approach where we're really not doing a lot of shading. We're just dialing in our colors, getting our contrast right. And ultimately speaking, it's going to end with us having a pretty good time. I'm not going to be able to use exclusively the Duncan Rhodes paints, but where I can, I'm going to. And so far, I'm really enjoying my experience with them. All right, so we have the belt here. That's where it starts. So we're going to dip our brush a bit. Oh, dang. That sucks. What's the subject of the books? Is he being a soft boy? A sensitive boy? Is he letting his feelings out? I know that's why he and Starfire broke up. So here's where I screwed up a bit. You'll see it. You can see it now. I got a bunch of that purple on the metal for my pauldron here, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. But we're gonna move on. We're not gonna stop to fix it just yet. We're gonna finish our brush load because it's important that we, at the very least, start to block stuff in before we go in. Because if we have to go back in again and like finish what we were doing while we're fixing mistakes, then it's just going to be more. It's all we're going to end up doing. It's all it's going to happen is we're just going to be fixing mistakes the whole time. We're not painting. We're not having a good time. So,
wait, where did I put it? Oh, yeah, they are Duergar, by the way.
Cool. That's good to know.
I think I got the card out and then I put it back again.
All right, so we can see the stretch here. Comes out. Then we go back. See, we find out where it wraps down here. So where it continues out from to back here. Boom. See, now we're just good. Now we're okay. So where's straps that we haven't painted yet? I'm gonna say that this here is probably leather, right? Because it's got wrapping around the fist here. That this is likely leather because there's a fur lining that we see. Yeah, so we'll go back here. This is probably part of that. We have a strap here, which is interesting because does that make the second layer of padding there also metal? And should we paint that a different color of metal? And the answer is yes, we should. So we'll paint that gold. Just to, again, we're going to create some contrast there. This is an extra layer of it. The model itself doesn't tell me what it is because it's got so many different layers where other layers are very obvious. Like this back area here as a mini painter is very frustrating to me. Because it's very hard to see what color should be what. So I'm going to go back in once I'm done with this brush load. I'm going to tighten up a lot of the silver. So you see it's not super neat. I do need to fix it. But once I'm finished with the burgundy, we will do that. Which is a thank you, James. Every time. Just making sure.
Yeah.
This is a gorgeous color, by the way. I absolutely love the pigmentation here. I love how rich it is. It is bold. It is very, very pretty. Speaking of very, very pretty, I have been playing Cyberpunk a little bit.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's going good so far, anyway. I was just doing side content. I did a couple like side jobs, some cyber psychos. I'm at that phase in the game. Like I think the last quest I have is the one where you have to go to the parade, or it's after the parade. I think
it's after the parade. Yeah.
So it's like the warning is like, okay, go do all your stuff before you end the game.
It's when you meet the daughter of the
Arasaka's daughter. Yeah, correct.
I think the mission is called Nocturne something.
It is called Nocturne. That is correct. 100%. Thank you, James.
You're welcome. Here to serve.
No.
We stand.
We stand.
No.
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 No. That's how you say there.
Do you know Alana Pierce?
Yes.
Did you see the video she put out recently about Australians saying no?
No.
She was like, I love Alana because she takes the piss out of herself and just general memes just like all the time. But yeah, she just made this whole video like complaining about the way Australians talk. And the entire time she chose every single word was a very Australian pronunciation. It was just so funny. With like a deadpan face on. Like deadpan isn't typically Australian humor.
No, they're not very good at it, usually.
But man, Alana did it.
Good.
She did great. Also a great follow on Twitter.
Good.
Yo, Dick Grayson is bi. I love it. Of course he is. How could you not be at least bi with that ass?
I mean, how could you not be in the Teen Titans and be at least a little bi?
Right.
You know, like a bunch of horny teenagers alone in a tower. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let's use our brains for like 5 seconds here.
No, they did come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
Several times.
You think that Cyborg didn't learn they had some really, really cool appendages? Yes.
Yeah, it was actually. I do remember. I do remember there was some controversy with Dick Grayson because people like he was. It's so funny because he was drawn when he was drawn by gay or like LGBTQ plus people. Like he just had a fucking amazing dumpy. but when he was drawn by straight men, they took his dumpy away.
Took his dumpy away. It's a fucking crime, is what it is.
It's fucking crime, exactly. How dare you take the dumpy?
Hashtag free Dick Grayson's dumpy.
Yeah.
Hashtag where's the
Yeah.
dumpy? Hashtag no more hashtags.
No more hashtags, yeah. Right, I'm gonna go. I don't think this guy's showing literally any skin whatsoever. Oh wait, he's showing his fingers. That's about it.
He got blisters on his fingies. I tell you, my sometimes while we do IP, May is taking meetings with her creative partner in her personal venture downstairs, and like they just spend so much time laughing, and it's wonderful.
We hear that sometimes. It's lovely. Like, honestly,
yeah.
To hear laughter in a home is one of the few small pleasures that we have.
There's a lot of that here, especially if it's like laughing at our animals. Because our animals are fucking dumbasses.
Haha, you fucking idiot.
You're a fucking dumb dog. And the dog be like, ha
dumb dog.
I'm the dummy. I love you though. Like, yeah, buddy, love you too. Here, have the good water from the fridge.
Yes.
Yeah, doggos get door water.
I mean, literally, I started the stream with laughing at Rome because she tripped over upstairs and I heard it.
It's funny.
So I don't know how she's tripped. Like a home right now, by the way. You know how she changes a home every few months?
Yeah.
Where she just like kits up. A home right now is a particular corner on my landing.
Just
it's just you can't move it to any other corner. Like if you try, she will just meow at you aggressively and then move back to that corner.
Like, stop it! No.
Because I know that because I wanted to vacuum. My cat is not afraid of vacuums. I had to vacuum that landing, and she wouldn't move. She was just no. This is my corner. I much prefer it when she's like, yeah, I'll sleep on top of the fridge or something.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, she doesn't know how funny she is.
I think I have an idea of how funny she is.
It's a good girl. And until she's not a good girl.
And then she's an asshole, right?
Because like right now, I mean, it's probably because she's old, but she's still kind of not really using her litter box that much, which is concerning me.
I mean, if she's old, she just not have to go as much, unless she's going.
No, I mean, she goes somewhere else. Yeah,
oh.
Like, and I can't like. She does. Fortunately, she does wee. Like in a litter box, but yeah, she also poos like on the bathroom floor a lot, and no matter how many times, like I clean that litter box, like it can be. I was saying yesterday to Shoji and Netro, like I had a clean litter box for 2 days, and she still decided to poo on the bathroom floor. And I was like, "What's going on with you?" She used to be so good.
She's being a bitch.
You're being a bitch right now, and I don't appreciate that.
There you go. That's fair to say. Yeah, you know, sometimes you have to point that behavior out to people, otherwise they don't see it.
I mean, she's a cat.
She's a cat. You're absolutely correct.
Not people. So yeah, she probably doesn't understand.
But it's okay. I'm gonna use the yellow. Dark sun yellow. For the one.
Dark sun yellow.
Dark sun, James, not dark sun.
Sun. What color should I do? What color are they on the thing? Oh, they're like a boring gray. I don't want to make their robes a boring gray. So I won't.
Paint them purple. No, paint them ron burgundy.
I might.
Actually, I already have some of this yellow. Hell yeah.
I don't really have a. I have Fire Slayer, but it's not really red. It's like
It
a
is,
brown.
yeah. You'll need that
Oh.
Fire Slayer color for your.
I need a red. Is what
Yeah.
I need. I definitely do need a red contrast because I don't have one.
Blood Angel's red. I like Flesh Terror's red quite a bit. Flesh Terror's red is probably my favorite contrast paint in the whole goddamn line.
Flesh Terrors and Blood Angels.
The Flesh Terror specifically is like a deep dark red.
Okay.
Okay. It's deep crimson. It's awesome.
I mean, I've done all the capes have all the capes have purple in them, so I could just do them purple. Like all the capes on my Duergar,
Right.
they have purple in them, and like the snipers have like purple skirts. So
yeah, I mean,
they were all kind of. It's a word I'm struggling to find right now. I can't think.
It's okay, buddy.
Wait, is that the right purple? Yeah.
Magos purple.
Yeah. Plus, it's Magos purple. It sounds like mage.
Yeah, I mean, but not like exactly like mage, which just makes it okay.
Do you need to thin down contrast paints?
Not necessarily. So thinning down contrast paints does something really neat, I think. So I do thin mine down when I'm doing, depending on what I'm doing. So some of them are really, really thick, like Snake Hide Leather is a really, really thick contrast paint. And so when you put it on and it just doesn't quite behave like my brain wants it to, because it's almost like almost chunky, I want to say. It's hard to explain. I apologize, I can't be more clear than that. I don't have
viscous.
Viscous, yes, that's a good word for it. But thinning it down, it lets some of that like brightness shine through a bit more. Okay. And gets you a different effect. I feel like the same thing is true with I think it's called Dryad Bark. It's the deep chestnut, like dark brown one. So you'd use it for like signposts and stuff. And I feel like that works better as like a wood contrast paint if you thin it down a bit, because it like settles deeper. So like the wood grain in wood when you paint it over wood stands out more.
You said wood.
I did. But
you said wood several times.
I did say wood several times. I'm actually gonna give him a purple yellow scarf as well, because that's the color of his arming tunic is yellow. So we're going to paint this yellow. And again, because we have all of these colors right here on our wet palette, we're going to go right back in right after this and clean it up real nice. Because
you thin them out to change the tones. Okay.
Yeah. So contrast medium is probably a good pickup. Just to play with it, James. It's fun. You can also use it to do like fun when we get to those elementals. Which if you want to do those like next week, we can do those next week. Because we can crank through those with just contrast paints in a really fun way.
Yeah. I'll probably need to get some more contrast paints, because I only have like I think 7 contrast paints.
Do you have? Yeah, I guess so. Once you get the, let me know when you get the medium and like what element do you want them to be?
I mean, we can do them by the cards. The cards actually have like earth. They have all the elements, but earth, fire,
what I meant
air.
for the okay, cool. So then we'll do them as like fire spirits. So I'd get a yellow, and then a red, or an orange. Do you have an orange?
I also as I was just going through the cards, I noticed, and I completely forgot that they did this. They do this, but the reason why there's so many minis of these little ones is because there's different variations of these little ones too.
It's funny.
Like there's like ill one. There's like ones that look ill, like diseased ones. There's ones that look like they're emblazed like on fire as well.
That's funny.
So I don't know if like when we complete this whole set, we can like go a bit bonkers with OSL with some of these extras.
Well, OSL you want to take into account as you're painting the miniature.
Okay.
It's not like you can definitely add OSL after. But I think it's important to consider OSL as you're painting it because it goes into your highlighting process. It changes how you paint the rest of the model
Mm.
because you're understandably going to have to go a little more conservative and a little darker on the far side of the model from wherever the light is, just to make the OSL effect look better. Not just
Okay.
to, it's part of it because if you really want people drawn to the light, which is why you do OSL in the first place, you want people to look at the OSL part, you're going to take away from somewhere else so that the OSL looks better. Or not looks better, but is more attention grabbing, I should say, more appealing in the moment. So it's about where you place that effort as you're painting the miniature as well.
Gotcha.
I am still again a big fan of these Duncan Rhodes 2 thin coats paints. Big fan.
Bigly.
I wouldn't say bigly because of a certain gentleman who used to be president says that. But you know, I will say big excited. Happy to experience it. Looking forward to.
Oh, they're wearing like some kind of leather. I see.
Leatherman.
Okay. I'm going to paint over that contrast to make that metal then.
Good.
Oh, actually, the entire top half is kind of metal.
Mm.
Okay. I'll let you try. Oh, fuck.
All right. So that is actually time for us here at Itchy Painty. I'm going to finish up cleaning up the colors in this model before at least the face, so we can kind of just take a look and compare. This is lovely. I'm a big fan of.
Lovely.
Lovely. It's lovely. It's like I know that phrase a lot from in Fable. That's like what your wife would say to you when you came home. She'd be like, "You're lovely."
You lovely, you are.
Yeah, and that's it. Like that's what she called you. You're lovely. And you're like, "Shut up, baby."
Baby, I know.
And that's the whole point of Fable. Thanks for coming to my Fable TED Talk.
Wait, I didn't color his head in purple. Oh my god. What even happened there? Nuts.
There we go. Here's another situation where I missed out a little skin flashing.
Little skin?
Get a little skin showing. Gotta show some little leg.
leg.
A little leg. Give some shoulder. Alright, so we got this back here. And I'll be honest, like, here's the thing is once we get this dialed in, I'm not even gonna have to use any of the other colors to highlight this. Because we'll hit this once this is dialed in with a wash. Once we get all of our colors tight and our lines good, we'll hit it with wash and it's just gonna do all of the work for us. Because these colors are really like well pigmented. They go on really nicely, really smooth. They dry matte, which I really like. I'm a big fan of matte paints. I think they just look neater.
They definitely do. I agree.
All right. Yeah, like look how much contrast we have here. This is so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's a really solid paint.
Like this is I haven't done anything else. I'm not even finished with everything. And this has taken about the same amount of time it usually does. When I do go back and I fixate on stuff. About an hour and a half of like actual like hard painting where I wasn't distracted by being funny. But yeah. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody who joined us in chat today. Netro32, Cruise Ship Choji, and of course James. we would not be doing this if not for your continued enjoyment and support for what we do here. Thanks to the folks who watch us on YouTube. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe for watching these live streams on the channel. I do see that people watch them, which is pretty cool. So thank you to our Patreon followers. I didn't mention this at the top of the show because I didn't want anybody to get excited, but the most recent episode for Patreon followers that just went up is the Castlevania Symphony of the Night discussion episode, where I myself, Cy, and Jordan, along with good friend Steve, all got together and just talked about Final Fantasy Castlevania Symphony of the Night for about 2 hours. It's a great discussion. We tried really hard not to tread old ground. So if you remember the last Castlevania episode, this new one's definitely worth a listen. Thank you to James.
Hi.
Love you, James.
Love you too.
And thank you to everybody else. I have been Burger. Y'all have been great, and thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye. I love you.